Hello everyone. Last lesson, we introduced the related piping of oil separator. In this lesson, we will introduce the oil separator page. The operation pages of two oil separators are consistent. Let's take number 1 heavy oil separator as an example to go into detailed introduction. At the oil separator page, about centrifugal purification lines of oil separator. There are 3 external pipelines. That's what we introduced in the purifying system. The 3 core tubing lines of the oil separator. Among them, the oil inlet line of the oil separator is a bottom one. The top one is a net oil outlet line. The bottom one is a bypass return line. Except for these 3 oil pipelines, there are also a compressed air line and a freshwater line. The compressed air provided by the compressed air pipeline, which is used for oil separator to be opened to the relevant pneumatic valve parts. That is to say, here are some valves associated with the oil and water line, which all need compressed air to control them. Freshwater pipeline is to supply the fresh water needed for the oil separator when it is working, such as replacement water for replacement, a water seal used to create a water seal, when holding up the elastic chassis of the working water, etc. Before preparing the purifier system to start, 3 fuel lines need to be connected to the tanks. All valves should be opened correctly. We need to confirm fuel source tank and the purpose of the purified fuel oil tank. When handling the operation about fuel transport, special attention should be paid to proper piping and valves to avoid incorrect operations. In addition to preparing fuel, we also need to have a compressed air ready. The compressed air comes from the compressed air system. Relevant valves also need to be opened. Freshwater comes from the daily freshwater system. Valves also need to be ready and open. There is also a steam heating system. This is the steam inlet. This is the outlet for the condensation. The steam here is used for heating oil. Usually before the heavy oil is put into the separator, it needs to be heated to obtain more ideal separation effect. Heating temperature should be set according to the instructions. Be in automatic control mode. The mothership of this simulator's setting temperature is 98 degrees centigrade. The above is the oil separator page related pipe system. The left side part is the oil separator operation control panel. When all piping is ready, we need to confirm that the load screen of the oil purifier is working properly. Then confirm the reset status of the emergency stop button. If the button is not reset, it needs to be reset. Turn the power switch to the on position. Control box power is ready. When these preparations are ready, we can start the oil separator. Next, we introduce the oil separator control panel. This is the button for the oil separator to work. It is also a confirmation button to confirm that other parts are working. The bottom one is a stop button. This is the icon of the separator heater. This is the icon of the oil pump supplied of the separator. It represents the supply pump. This is the icon of the oil separator. When confirming start heater, oil supply pump, and the separator. After pressing the flashing start button, the indicator light in the upper left corner of these 3 icons will be always on. Represents that the relevant equipment has started smoothly. The below is an oil separator alarm indicator. When the oil separator fails, this red light will shine. This is the manual slack discharge button. By pressing this button, we can trigger a manual slack discharge. This is the remote control indicator. If the oil separator is now allowed to operate remotely, it can be operated in the central control room. At this point, we need to press the button beside the machine. Only the light turns green for remote control. We could view it as an operation position switch and indicator button. The bottom one button is for the control of the sludge pump of the oil separator. On some configuration ships, according to the liquid level of the sludge tank, it will automatically start and stop the sludge pump. If it is required to start the sludge pump manually, we can press this button. The function of the CIP on the right is to clean the oil separator in situ. That is, without opening the oil separator. Only use the external line to the oil separator for circulation cleaning. This area is number pad of the oil separator, which can be used to access the relevant menu. Read the various parameters of the oil separator and modify the operating parameters of the oil separator. This is the options selection and action area. Options can be selected here and determine the specific operation of the oil separator. Above is a brief introduction of the operation page of the oil separator.